Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Joining me is Jessica, and we're going to be talking about raising the vibrations and just letting the conversation flow. And I'm excited to talk to her. She's a nurse. She has an array of different skills and talents, and she's creative. And we met on Instagram. I remember seeing one of her. I don't think I checked out in any podcast, but I got some homework to do after this, and I'm gonna definitely check out the podcast. So, can you introduce yourself and tell us more about like what you do and what you got going? Thank you.
Yeah, my name's Jessica. Thanks so much for setting this up. I know that we've been trying to meet for some time and just grateful to be here and grateful to start collaborating with other people. Well, my background, I'm a registered nurse. I have 5 years experience working in various areas in hospital, and I'd like to transition my practice to more holistic healing and natural ways that help people find peace and help people resolve issues that they have with themselves and help people learn to feel joy and to feel happiness because uh, that's just the point of life. I mean, we're here for such a short period of time as human beings, and I have a gift. I have a gift of making impacts on people in very short amount of time, and I have a gift of being able to reach to people to get them to raise their mental capability to a higher level. And this is something that I've recently discovered about myself. And another thing about life is really working on your passions and doing what you love to do, and without conflict in terms of inner conflict. It's our soul's purpose to work and to live exactly the way that our soul wants us to, and for fulfilling our soul's purpose. And that's just how I'm transitioning my nursing practice. I still have an active license in uh, about 35 plus different states to do Western care. But I'm in the process of creating a business license for more of a holistic kind of coaching um, thing. And I'm offering it online, but in person in the states that I'm licensed in. I live between Arizona, New York, and Alaska. So I will be back and forth between those areas and offering in person stuff. But there's still a lot of trainings and, well, not just trainings, but knowledge that I'd like to gain and wisdom from other people who have more experience, because there's a lot of things about healing that I don't personally know. Um, but this is, it's a part of my growth and expanding the message of peace is doing a podcast alongside doing YouTube and Instagram and putting these messages out there to help people think and change their mind about just life and the way that they feel about themselves. So, yeah.
That's awesome. I was sharing while you were talking. I was sharing, and um, I love to connect more. And so you traveled a lot. You traveled like to Alaska. Are you originally from like Arizona?
Hmm. Yeah. Those things don't really matter to me though, because they are just an aspect of, how would I say in human terms? It's just an
It's just
aspect of thing, and it's like it's a label, and when we ask all these questions about each other, about like, oh, what's your race, where are you from, what school did you go to, or what's your education, it's putting a label, it's putting a value on someone and seeing, it's like, oh, how worthy are they worthy enough, or are they higher than me, or are they lower than me? And so this is why I don't ask a lot of questions
yeah.
in terms of specific things like that,
It's
in terms of
interesting though.
society approaches. Society wants you to know, once people wants to they want to know specific things to fulfill their ego, to fill their emotional confusion. And like I was getting a ride home from a chiropractor appointment I had this morning, and my driver, he was so sweet, but he kept asking me, he's like, where are you from? And I couldn't hear him for some reason. I was like, what did you say? And he's like, where are you from? And I was like, I'm not from here. I'm not even from this planet. And he just wouldn't, he kept asking, tell me where you're from. Tell me, I have to know where you're from. I'm just like, why do you need to know where I'm from? Like we had fun with it though. I made a
Yeah.
lot of fun of it, and it was just a fun interactive time. And it gets, when you're different and you have a different personality and you have like different talk or different speech, you get people to step out of their box and think about things differently. They're like, oh, that was weird. That was definitely different from what I'm used to. And it makes you stick out, and people will remember that. And it's not even about being specifically remembered. It's about having in positive impact on other people to step outside of that societal box. And I mean, I didn't fully say things from my podcast because I'm recording this for my podcast as well, but this is
Okay.
for the 6th episode, and it's called Raising Your Vibrations.
Raising your
And
vibrations.
me and Paul, this young man, we're going to talk about this is from my perspective, ways to raise your vibration, ways to feel more love in your life, and just have a better life experience. That was my perspective. What was your perspective of us to doing this podcast episode?
My perspective was just to be more engaging with what we both could bring to the table, raising the vibrations. When I think about raising the vibrations, like the planet, the awareness of the planet right now with all that's going on is just holding the space for like other people that's tuning in that might receive this message. It could be something creative and just something, a good message that we can bring, that we can collab and just chill out and have a chat and share our own inspirations and our spiritual downloads of how we go about life and other things, like just raising the vibrations. And um I mean, I study massage therapy, and like I learned a lot about energy and about balance and what it's about, and in terms of like it's lifelong lessons from school, and my awareness and empathy and understanding, it just grew, it just expanded more, and I'm still learning each day. um so I just want to be more engaging and authentic and charismatic talk. And
Mhm.
I see that you're like, you're easy to talk to because like you're in tune to your emotional body. So I was glad it just flows naturally to talk to you, and that's why I'm glad to talk, because like some people, we came in we can't be on that level, like because like you're tuned, like you do the dancing and stuff, and you share on Instagram and some good talks, and like I feel connected, and that's what it's about when as in podcasting, that human connectivity.
Mhm.
Um, a lot of people, they tune in, like they feel they can relate to the people that's talking, and like the faces, and they feel like they can relate.
Mhm.
And I'll let you talk though. I'll let you share more.
You're good. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I admire so much that you have that experience and that you're trained masseuse and that you have more energy awareness, and that kind of heightened your realization and awakening, I would say. I don't know how like far you've gone into like a spiritual journey or how far you are or anything, but it's really important that everyone has a spiritual experience, and it's not a religious thing, and it's not always necessary. Not everyone is ready for an awakening in this lifetime. I believe that everyone reaches higher consciousness regardless. I believe that there are people who reach it when they're alive, when they're physically awake or physically alive. Doesn't mean that they're awake. They could be asleep their entire lives, but everyone reaches higher consciousness when they pass away. And that is just something so beautiful for people to experience when they're alive in their physical form and they're in a human form, because it's such a blessing. It's such a gift. And I'm hearing more men now that are having just realizations heightened awareness, and just raising their own awareness about everything. Because I'm not sure if you're familiar with Eckhart Tolle's work. He talks about, you said the pain body, or I think you said something that was kind of
Emotional
related.
body.
Emotional body, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know any Eckhart Tolle's work?
I might have heard a lot of quotes, but
Mhm.
I never read any of his books. I know about him though. I've
Okay.
a lot of people quote him and
Mhm.
like they mention his books, and I know I gotta tune in. I gotta tune in more. I'm still in my journey. I would say I'm a baby to the knowledge, and I still got a long ways to go.
It's fine. You're already there where you need to be,
Yeah.
and it will evolve over time. Um, but in one of Eckhart Tolle's work, he talks about the pain body and how we identify ourselves with the pain that we feel. And men have a harder time of reaching higher consciousness and higher awareness because of the difference, the biologic difference, um, between a man and a woman. You know, women intuitively have these processes that happen in our bodies. You know, we have our periods, we have our menses, we give birth, and we have things that are divine within us. Like we have the universe within us.
Yeah.
And so do men, you know. But naturally and biologically, women have more of an intuition to certain things, and men don't experience that. So it takes a little bit more for men to reach that. But I'm just meeting so much more men, and I'm just so grateful to have met you. And you know, I had another Uber driver he was 22, and he was from Equate. Um, he says he identifies as Somali though, and he has this foundation where he raised like millions of dollars to help other Somalians. He's 22 years old, and he just was talking about how much gratitude he feels for his life and how grateful he is for anything, and just how he's growing as an entrepreneur. And it's just so beautiful seeing more men that way. You know, I have a female perspective or a feminine perspective on a lot of this, and I don't have that much of a, I don't want to say that. I do have a male perspective because a lot of my teachers, my spiritual teachers, are men. Sadhguru is my number one teacher. I don't know if you know who Sadhguru is.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh God, he is like, oh, I love him so much. He teaches me so much. And Eckhart Tolle, and Dan Coe is another one of mine, but he's more on business, entrepreneurial stuff. But he does dive deep into spiritual things. It's just nice seeing more people awakening. And I know in like religious terms, a lot of people are like, "Oh, he's saved," you know, or they're saved, and it's like we never needed to be saved to begin with. We were born good, and we're not sinning. None of us are sinning. We're not born sinful either. And that's the other thing with spirituality. It teaches you to understand that everything is okay and to accept every single thing, regardless of how it is. But
That's
anyways, I go on to
beautiful.
tangents. um,
Yeah, we can go as high as we want in vibration and just awareness, like setting the intention of like where it can go, and like just naturally being ourselves. Like it's a beautiful moment to to learn and grow and just fellowship.
mhm.
It's some great stuff. And like you were saying about like we didn't need to be saved. I like it.
Yeah, it's so true, you know. And you know, I used to be Catholic, and I used to think there was so many things wrong with us, with me specifically,
Oh,
that I did, that I was so bad, and that there were, you know, because of the way I looked or because of the way I acted, my personality, and I didn't know this or I didn't know that or I didn't have this. You know, I
yeah.
and that's not all attributed to the Catholic Church, but the Catholic Church did have a big part to play in terms of my feelings of guilt. But I'm the number one who has to take responsibility for that because those are my emotions, and it was just the way I was conditioned, just like so many people. So it's not really our fault if we're in an unconscious state. It's something that we have to discover. You know, God would not exist without us. So that is, um, I don't know what you say. I say my source as my God,
Yeah, I say source
source,
and
or
God.
Like higher power. I still follow Jesus. He's still one of my huge teachers, and I meditate with him a lot. Um, but yeah, just us realizing that our existence is so important that if we didn't exist, God wouldn't exist.
Yeah, we're the physical, he's the spiritual. Like we're the hands and feet of God. Like we're doing his work like each day
Hmm.
and just living with that integrity um to do what's right. Like
Hmm.
what's our sole purpose? Because we all we all have a purpose, a life purpose,
Hmm.
and to follow our own passions, but to show more love and care in the world, like to aid
Hmm.
the suffering, like because it's a lot of harm that's happening, and to just ground ourselves and really be mindful about like what's happening to like help our fellow brothers and sisters and feed the
Hmm.
hunger.
Yes, I agree with that to a certain extent because I I'm a healer and I love helping people. And from a consciousness perspective though, you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. So people who have a mind state of lack and they live in that lack and they
Yeah,
continue that, oh, this suffering, this horrible, and there are, I'm not saying that people suffer and people suffer at the hands of other people. That is real. And
yeah,
that is something that it's like we have to find compassion for, if we want to change it. We have to transmute our feelings towards violence and towards suffering. We have to transmute them to a higher level, which is, in my opinion, it's compassion. And like you said, having integrity, having gratitude, but raising those feelings, those painful feelings to higher feelings, which,
yeah.
it doesn't feel good to suffer and it doesn't feel good to talk about suffering.
Joy, love, gratitude.
Mhm. Yeah.
Those powerful emotions, like
Hmm.
feelings, and like I read a book, The Complete Guide to Sound Healing, and it showed me like all this esoteric like words, like the terminology, and the book, like it talked about like healing on the what's the physical, the emotional, and all those different levels, and the
Hmm.
mental. It was a great book. Like besides the massage education, to taking the communication course, all that helped me
Hmm.
um be who I am today, and it just opened my third eye to have the awareness and the universal awareness and the compassion, the empathy, all those words. It does mean something because now I understand what it is, like
Hmm.
what energy is. We're all light bodies and beings, and just trying to heal,
Yeah.
love, and
Hmm.
share with each other. Yeah,
That's so true. Yeah, you're exactly like the words that you're speaking are just so in aligned with just the essence of humans being alive. And it's important that we pass that compassion, and it's important that, oh, I froze a little bit.
it's good.
Okay. Um I was thinking this morning, how sorry I feel for people that feel the need to hurt other people to feel better, and not just with words but with violence.
Wow.
It's like, how limited is their identity that they think that they have to kill someone or they have to abuse someone or they have to violently do something to someone else to feel better or for a cause. And it's like, don't get me wrong, if someone's trying to take my life, I'm going to do the best I can to protect my life. And the Bible even says to protect your life. Jesus is in agreement with protecting your own life. So protect your life, but don't initiate violence.
Yeah,
And but it's just, how can we help those people see the truth of love, see the truth of like our spirit? And it's, I've been talking about this a lot lately. It's just transmuting our emotions and our thoughts. And if we collectively do that together on a bigger scheme of people, like larger amounts of people, if we were to take our emotions, which are the most powerful thing that we have on this earth is our emotions, if we were to take our emotions and transmute them to those feelings like you were talking about, compassion, love, and having integrity. And it takes a lot, you know, and it's okay. It just takes some work. That's just the process of unraveling our existence.
It can break a lot of chains and free some souls, like from
Mm-hmm.
their own traumas and what's happening to them, the things that's holding them back.
Yeah.
Like just raising the vibration. Like,
Mm-hmm. And
and
it
that goes it goes deep. It goes deep. Like what you're saying about some people that like that's suffering in other people's hands. Like it's pretty terrible about like not to focus on the negative, but like the
Mhm.
reality. I know it could be better because like it's just like animals. Like when they're in the wild, they do the same. They do some similar things. Like they'll fight, but like it's a like
They're just
humans
playing the game of life. And
humans could do better.
Mhm. You're absolutely right.
Because we understand we have all this understanding of what we're doing. Animals they don't have this capacity to understand some things. They
They-
don't
mhm.
hold grudges like that.
No, they follow their intuition and they're present. And you know what is something I don't am I cutting you off? I don't know if you had something left to say. I'm sorry.
I'll finish in a little bit. I'm just letting it flow.
Okay.
I had a long story about um like what's happening, like is like a group of people just some people like sometimes they want to de un make somebody unconfident that they like it messes with the psyche too, like when a group of people try to overpower some people, or and like animals do some similar stuff, but they, like I said, they don't hold grudges like that. And like if you think about the wars and all that stuff that's happening, like we do need to stand up, like, but at what cost, like with all these bombs and stuff and all this stuff, like that's dangerous. Like we got to value life. Someone needs to we just need to collectively wake up
Yeah.
to change the
Yes.
paradigm.
Yeah, collectively value life. And that's
Yeah.
true. It's like, and it's not just this time. People have not valued life for so long. And it was probably even worse back in the day where there was no human rights involved, you know? So, you know, everyone's like, oh, it's worse now, but it's like, you don't know how it was back in the day. I don't know how it was back in the day, but there's evidence and there's history and there's proof of more torture happening on a common basis and more just disregard for human life. And one thing I was going to say was if you think about animals, they live an entire guilt-free life. They never feel guilty and they still kill. They kill and they're lazy. They just lay around all day and then they go and they hunt and then they sleep and then they produce with however many mates they want. They have as many kids as they want and they don't give a shit. They don't care. You know why? Because they're guilty free, because they know how innocent and how good they are. And that's how we are as humans. But because of all of these structures in the society, we're told that we're bad. And it's like, why are we bad? That's why I advocate feeling freedom regardless of our actions, which is kind of controversial to say. Um, but it's freeing because you know it's like people that are in prison for doing something harmful to someone else, like they're doing their time and it's say protecting society or whatever, that is what it is. But it's like I pray for them so much because they had such a limited identity, they only used the resources that they knew how to have. It's not that they only use it, they just knew, they did what they thought they had to do, and they did an action and a movement one moment in time that caused pain in someone else or that killed someone else or that hurt someone else. But it's because they had such a limited identity. And guess what, we're society is going to tell them that they're bad and that they should feel guilty and they should feel horrible about themselves the rest of their lives. And it's like, why is it we can't help everyone just transmute the feelings of guilt to forgiveness, and transmute these feelings of um, integrity, like you said. Integrity is such a good word that you said.
Yeah.
Integrity just allows you to respect other people and respect difference. It's like diversity is required for humans. That how would we feel if everyone looked the same in this world, everyone did everything the same? That would be so freaking boring. We need to have diversity, we need to have variety, we need to have
Yeah.
difference, and we need to have so many things to select from so that we can be creative. And that's just our design as humans. And maybe we look exactly the same to animals, because animals, when we get to know an animal, we can tell them apart from other animals, like in the same species. We know who it is. But like as humans, to me, we all look different. And there are other humans who see us not just, I'm just saying, like other humans, they see them looking the same. And it's funny because there's sometimes where I think someone is the same exact person because of physical traits, because they look exactly the same. I don't know if I'm making any sense at all.
Yeah. It's amazing. I don't know if that's into like psychology and biology, but it is amazing. We're all unique and diverse,
Mhm.
and we should embrace that.
Yeah, we shouldn't try to change ourselves. Like, I know that surgery is something that happens and that it's a very active thing right now, which is fine. But it's like if people really understood what they're doing to their tissues and their body and their skin, they wouldn't do it. And I actually made a video about this on like last month or something, about just suggesting to people to, maybe say no to plastic surgery, because it's like, why do you want to look like someone else? There is a Japanese belief that it's an old Japanese proverb or belief that the way we look now is a face and body of our ancestors. How would I say it? It's our ancestor, that someone that loved us, the most person that we loved in our ancestor, if that makes sense. Like our ancestors, they were so in love with someone, they love someone so much. So we transmuted to looking like that. So we look
Uh,
like the perfect image of what someone loved in the past.
yeah, made in God's image.
Yeah, and it's like we may not be beautiful to everyone, but it doesn't even matter. You don't have to be beautiful to be alive. I mean, you're freaking born. It's like, why do you want to look like Kim Kardashian? Like Kim Kardashian's beautiful. I love Kim Kardashian. I think she's amazing, and I think that she has sometimes has a really great message to inspire people. And she's an amazing manifester. She has amazing worth. I don't know how she feels inside, but clearly she is in a higher frequency abundance
Yeah,
kind of wavelength. And she could raise her vibration to help like spread peace more to the earth.
yeah,
um, but that's kind of why I want to grow on social media and um, transform my nursing practice to a holistic one, because I want to be able to get that high and elevated so I can work with people who have that amount of attention and activity, so I can help them heal and they can speak those words and do other things to help other humans heal.
wow. And she does have a platform. I was
Mhm.
just thinking about gratitude, like on earlier what we was talking about gratitude, just because like we live in a time where we can share and be
Mhm.
liberated and not get hurt for our words or something, like even if we're our best with our intentions and sharing gratitude also for so many things. I lost my train of thought, but like just gratitude for who we are and what we were made to be and on our journey.
Yeah, that's so true, and it's so beautiful because back in the day, whatever that was, people were prosecuted because of the way they looked and what they talked about. And that still happens today. That still does happen, but way less than it used to. And we're in a time where we do have more freedom to be ourselves and be authentic. And that's so beautiful. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about it. It is, it really is.
It's true. You know, there was a book that was presented to me in a strange way the other day, and was a it was kind of like a cheaply made little book, little booklet thing, and it said the 10 condiments to a delicious life, and it said work with your passion, or work for your passion, and live a fulfilling life. And the 10 things were: number 1, integrity; 2, gratitude; 3, love; 4, compassion; 5, empathy; 6, creativity; 7, non-attachment; 8, oneness; 9, self-care; and 10, spirit. So those are key things to just really enjoying life. And like, that's what this life is about, is really just to enjoy it and enjoy ourselves, and not trying to rebel, but how would I say, just have like a strength to be yourself and be authentic. I'm not just saying to you, but to every single person.
You could say that one more time.
What did I say? I'm saying to have strength in being yourself, and being okay with being yourself, and not using it as a rebellion to prove something to someone else or even to yourself, but to feel worthy and to feel gratitude for one's existence.
Wow. Gratitude.
Yeah. And the description I wrote, that I sent you, processing life through the lens of love instead of through the lens of conditioning. And it requires releasing the past and harnessing the present moment.
You can expand on what it means. I know, like, to be in the present moment.
Mm-hmm.
To be in the present moment. I remember reflecting on that. Like, I was like, I said yes, and like releasing the past. I'm gonna have to go back to that. Processing life through the lens of love instead of the lens of conditioning. The
Mm-hmm.
lens of love. Processing it.
Mm-hmm. Because we see our experience is a convolution of thousands of years of bullshit. Our ancestors, they passed down so many things. They passed down all their trauma and all their love too. But because of our ego and our psyche being unhealed, we feel so much of that pain. And when you're in pain, that's all you can think about.
Yeah. Yeah. It's intense.
Mm-hmm. And when people especially have physical pain, that's what they're obsessed about. So many people that I've cared for, and I don't know if you share kind of a similar experience, but people that are in physical pain, they have a lot of emotional pain too.
Wow.
It's not just a physical pain that they're crying about. It's their inner child crying for their mother and their father to be there for them.
Yeah, I had a hell of a upbringing, and like I don't know much pain, but I know like it carries on like from the
Mm-hmm.
ancestors, and the worst thing that probably happened to me was tearing my ACL meniscus. That was painful, but
Mm-hmm.
I know some people go through worse, like hunger and all type of stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
they go through that all the time, so it's like a lot. It's a lot. Like if you go through war or like torture, are you in a household where it's like people are like just messing with you, and all type of stuff. Like I can only imagine. I can only imagine what they go through, and they need to be liberated. They need to be free from that and in a safe environment. Because like it's also in our genes and phenotype, genotype, in our genes and our environment and the people we hang around with,
Mm-hmm.
and what we're taught. Like some people, they like in the hip hop culture, like they want to join gangs and stuff and just do bad things. um I can only I can only have compassion for the people and the way they are leading their journey. I can't judge. I can't. Everyone, they on their own time perception of
Mhm.
when they're gonna wise up, and because I mean, you can only before the law or something like that that can straighten you out. Like we all must do right on this journey in life, because like is only so much, like how they say three strikes and stuff. Like some people, they wise up after a while, like because some people, they need the leeway, because like they're just like, they might be a teenager and they might mess up or something, like, but everyone don't get second chances and stuff.
What do they get then?
Huh?
What do they get then if they don't get second chances?
Some people have to forgive them, and like everyone is not a bad person, but like the law sometimes can be crucial and like
Mhm.
on people, and like some people, they're crazy. Like some people are just out there, but I don't believe everyone is bad. And
Mhm.
most people, like they're wisening up, they're awakening to their higher self and what they should be doing in life.
Mhm. So I hear you. So beautiful. Everything, like your reflection and the truth in that. One thing is to, this is from a my conscious perspective, is how we can raise the vibration of more people on a collective level, is us shifting our beliefs about other people.
Yeah.
Instead of making up all of these labels and all these things, or that this is right or wrong,
No biases. Yeah.
yeah, like good or bad, you know, um, because in the conscious eyes, which is nature and light, consciousness is nature and light and love.
Humility.
Nature will grow a beautiful flower, and she will also grow a poisonous vine that will kill you. And there's no right and wrong about that. It just is what it is. And that's just an aspect of life. And
Nature.
instead of seeing things as bad or good, because everything that happens in our human experience, it's just life. And so many people in the US, this is my perspective, are very weak. And I know that can be hurtful to hear to some people, but it's like, we have to be strong in this life. This life is not easy.
We're connecting though. We're
Yeah.
like vibing, like our nature. Like I read somewhere in a book, like it said, "Watch what our nature brings." But like I feel the connection, like our shadows and stuff is like intertwining. But I
Mhm.
see the light. I see the light in it all. Like it's beautiful. Like how you're expressing that when you said nature, that story in my head about like humility, like watching what our nature brings. Like if someone steps on your toes or something, like
Mhm.
you don't have to step on their toes. You can be educated in the moment in front of them, or you can just leave. You don't. Our last option is you could fight that person. Like if they're like, but like you don't have to do it. You can learn. You can be educated in the moment, and that's
Yeah.
humility. That's humility.
And those emotions that we feel of hostility, or adrenaline, which are catecholamines, which are three hormones: epinephrine, norepinephrine, and dopamine. And those hormones are there for us to survive. And we're in a time where we are not necessarily having to use those hormones. And that's why I think fighting is very important. I think
Wow.
fighting, MMA, is something that is
Yeah.
healing, and it's healing our ancestors, and it's healing our ancestral pain and generational pain, because that is why we have those hormones. So to
Yeah.
fight and to defend ourselves. And
Yeah.
if we're experiencing all these emotions and hormonal releases, and we're not fulfilling them, we're not fighting, and we're not
Yeah.
in battle, we're not living up to our hormonal responses.
Wow.
Yeah. So I usually train MMA. Sometimes that's not a big thing. I do that a couple times a month. But I'm recovering from some injuries now, so I haven't done it in 3 months. And I definitely notice a difference. Like it's a healthy release, because it's usually, a lot of times, it's in a safe environment, especially if you're with a gym that it has certified teachers that are
Yeah.
trained MMA fighters or whatever. Um, everyone has their own way of releasing their anger and
We're all
releasing
learning. Yeah.
hormones. Yeah. And it's just my personal experience, something that has helped me.
That's
Yeah.
that's incredible. Cause like a lot of people they just like they'll fight or like but they'll bash or they'll manipulate. Like they really want to say like we're all building our character and stuff
Hmm.
um and we mean love. Everybody don't want to fight. But like
Yeah.
sometimes we do. We gotta like I
Sometimes
see
we
what
have
you're
to
saying.
fight.
Yeah. We
And
gotta
there's nothing wrong.
protect.
It's part of our biology. It's okay to fight.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with fighting. It's just the intention behind it. You know,
Yeah.
like, are you fighting because you want to kill someone because, or you want to hurt someone because they hurt you? Or are you fighting to save your life? Or are
Yeah.
you fighting because,
You're protecting someone or like you're helping someone like just to break it up or something
yeah,
or
like
what's
we
the
don't have to fight
what's the
nowadays.
mission? Yeah, what's the mission?
Yeah, and we're choosing to fight for the wrong reasons. And again, I know I said wrong, but it's just to help people understand the message that I'm trying to convey. There is no right and wrong. It is what it is. Like I said, back to the analogy that I said about how nature will grow a beautiful rose or a beautiful flower, and then next to it will grow a poisonous vine. It
Yeah.
just is what it is. It doesn't mean that either of those are right or wrong. It's just happening, and that's just the way it's expressing itself. And it's really just choosing to see the good in everything.
Hmm.
That's how we have to change our perspective, and that's a way to raise your vibration.
A lot of people is not exposed to like other cultures and stuff, and like they
Hmm.
might stay in one city and based on what they were taught or like they're not. That's what biases come from. Like when you're not exposed to certain things and like are just certain narratives like that you've been told all your life.
Hmm.
Like,
And
but
we're,
it's change can happen. Changes could happen like for the better.
hmm
Amends.
yeah, and back to those concepts of right and wrong. It's like we're taught that this is right and this is wrong, but then, like you said, when we're not exposed to different cultures and different ways of living, then people are going to be like, "Oh, that's wrong," and it's not. It's just a different way, and that's okay. Diversity is good. Diversity is supposed to be there. We're not supposed to be the same, you know. And recognizing our own gifts, like we individually have a gift, and collectively, when we bring that together, we make explosions of
It's a
happiness.
powerhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What are your gifts?
it's like we align as mankind and
Yeah.
like humanity.
Hmm. Do you know what your gifts are?
Creativity, words, and um songs sometimes. Like I could get better. Like it's a strength, but it could be amplified.
Yeah. I feel
It,
like I'm not living up to
oh,
my full potential either because I'm growing still and I'm in like the learning process as well. But like right now, everything's good. Like it's so good right now, and just with practice and with time and repetition and quantity, because quality is awesome, but when you do things more and a lot,
mhm.
you get better quality.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. That was something that I
I feel
learned.
like the dopamines and so how you say it, serotonin and endorphins, like I feel like I got that run aside just from podcasting. Like I feel good about it.
Mhm.
Like
Serotonin is actually a hormone that comes from your stomach,
oh
which is a lot of people don't know that their emotions are related to hormones. And your hormones are released from multiple different areas of your body. You have a lot of hormones that come from your brain,
yeah.
your hypothalamus, your pituitary glands, your heart. There's hormones that are released from your lungs, and there's hormones that are released from your liver and your stomach and your pancreas. Like insulin is a hormone, and they give us specific emotions. And with our conditioning in our mind, we and our diet, what we take in and what we see, what we take in our eyes and in our mouth, we have specific emotions, which is why it's good to learn inner stillness and presence, because nothing should shock us.
Yeah.
Spirituality teaches to be unfazed by anything and everything.
Grounded, grounded.
Yes, thank you. That was the word I was looking for.
Yeah, because I know, like when I'm meditating, um, like when I'm meditating, like if I ground, like if I do some grounding meditation, it kind of discerns me from like from attachment and like like just meditating, and so I'll ground with the earth. Then like I imagine with my mind's eye like that this beautiful white light is going through my crown chakra, and like I'm taking out all distractions, I'm blocking out from all the craziness in the world. And I believe that like I take 2 deep breaths and all that. As I do the whole thing, the grounding meditation, the visualization, and when I open my eyes and I'm ready to like come back down into my body from like traveling and all that, it's like I I'm in tune to like where I should be, and like I'm where I need to be at. And I it's somehow like I know like if, not just like knowing like something is about to happen in the near future, but like if I'm grounded enough, I know like hey, like I got my guard up, but like nothing is gonna distract me, like a loud sound or something. Like I'm not gonna just it might scare the hell out of me, but like
Mhm.
a loud noise or something like out of the blue, but or anything in the perception or the senses, the
Mhm.
sensory, or like, but I know like what to expect. Like I'm kind of familiar with everything that has happened in the past and personally, and I'm content and I have bliss and stuff. Like even if like I'm at the last moment of my life or whatnot, like
That's
I'm
beautiful.
always content. I'm always and peaceful and stuff. Like
Mhm.
I'm good.
That's important, and that's so beautiful that you feel that way. It's, important that more people feel satisfied and fulfilled in life, you know? And there's things that can take us down. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect, or that I'm, like I am a victim of anything, but I'm kind of, there are times where, it's like ebb and flow. And my goal is to regain, um, mindfulness,
Yeah.
regain grounding, because I lose it sometimes. And I have some physical stuff that takes me out of my groove, I would say.
The
And that's
meditation.
something that I'm working on.
The meditation, it reminds me that all is energy, because like even when I'm meditating I can feel everything that I'm dealing with,
Mhm,
like I know everything from the inside out, like
mhm,
the meditation, the grounding meditation, like I can feel everything in it, like, and like when I'm done it's like I can, like I have a certain face, like I like okay, it's like I have that awareness about like what's going on, and like
mhm.
if somebody's messing with my energy, or if like someone's astro attacking me or like talking about me, or like I feel everything, like I could feel it, it's palpable, like I feel things, like,
That's beautiful.
but yeah, I could sense it, like I have that awareness, like not just intuition, but like feel and touch. Like
Mhm,
I feel vibes. I feel the energy and stuff. And I can see things too. Like my intuition, like my power is my tongue and my mind. Like that's what I was told, and
mhm.
my words too, and talking. Like I have a awareness. Like the awareness is pretty good. Like uh, I don't see everything that's happening in the near future, but I can definitely feel energy, like everything
Mhm.
that's happening, and as I'm creating and flowing right now and talking about life, like I have a awareness, like it's super clear too.
That's beautiful. It's good to have clarity. That's awesome. It's so nice hearing that perspective. I like that.
Thank you.
There was a couple of things I wanted to touch on for people to raise their vibrations. And I always talk about and I always advocate a holistic lifestyle. And a holistic lifestyle is healthy diet, appropriate amounts of protein, um, fats, complex carbs, a lot of vegetables, good sleep, exercise, stretching, and meditation, getting sun, grounding yourself, go outside barefoot, getting grounded with the earth, go out in nature, Living a holistic lifestyle is really important to me, and I live up to it most of the time, about 80 to 90% of the time. And, you know, I'm human still, and so is everyone else. So it's just like passing compassion to myself and
Yeah.
feeling feelings of acceptance of yourself. These are feelings towards yourself and everyone else: acceptance, forgiveness, gratitude, compassion, empathy, and just having a healthier relationship with oneself. And non attachment is something that is new to me. It is something that was shown to me through a life experience I had. And I was like on my high rising disc of life, and everything was flowing in my life, and then something happened and I was like, wait. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. And I fell off of my high raising vibrations. And it's showing me that I still have conditional living mindset, and I still have conditional things like I need this in my life to be okay. And having non-attachment to people and things is important too.
Yeah.
Because when we're attached and we lose them, it hurts. And that's okay. It's part of the human experience. But when you're not attached, it's not cruel or anything. It's just you bless people when they leave, you bless people when they come in.
Yeah.
And it just is what it is.
You sage people?
Yeah. No, I don't. But I mean, yeah, if they want to do a ceremony with me.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. And having faith in a higher power, in a source. I say source, which is God, and just having trust in that higher power that everything's going to be taken care of for us. And in some of my PhD studies, I'm studying metaphysics, and
Wow.
it's really about higher consciousness. And it talks about how God is really the doer, that it's not even you. It's really when you give up, when you surrender to that energy, and you allow the source to come into you, everything you do and say will flow through you. And there's a lot of times when I talk about consciousness a lot, all the time, and being happy, or blah blah blah, all the crap I talk about. And a lot of times when I get into deep conversation, it's just I don't even have the words in my mind. It just kind of flows through me. Like I don't even know what I'm saying. It just like flows out of me. I'm just like, whoa. And this is
soaking in the wisdom. I'm soaking in the wisdom.
Thank you. Another thing is practicing gratitude and presence, feeling how good every moment is, because a lot of people don't know how good the moment really is. And we miss out on how good it is. And I take my past disability, my physical disability, as a good example, and as words of encouragement, and sharing my experience as an encouragement to other people. Because I was, doing my thing one day, lollygagging, and I was a silly little teenager who thought I knew everything, and very arrogant, and just I was a different person when I was a teenager.
Yeah,
very different. As we all were.
I was positive, but I wasn't this aware about, like, my mind wasn't expanded or like this open wide.
Mhm.
And like I'm soaking in so much information, like I'm receiving so much downloads. It's like my head is banging, like with so much, like it's like I'm at a lecture, not a lecture, but like I'm receiving so much incoming information. Like I'm perceiving everything. And like when you said about God and the being the doer, like it opened my eyes to the bigger picture of it all, the grand scheme of like what's happening under the sun. Like it's just like seeing the big picture, like the Chinese,
Mm-hmm.
seeing the big picture.
It's
Like,
beautiful. And it's true. It's like once you come into consciousness, and like you said, you get downloads. And like I get downloads all the time. Like I'm like, where am I getting this information? It's just like stuff coming in my head, and I'm like, what is it? And it's God. That's God right there, or your source.
he's pouring
Your higher
into
power.
us. He's pouring into us,
Yeah.
and he's
It's
giving us more abundance and
yeah.
information that we need to carry on in our journey. You know, we just
Mm-hmm.
take it with our backpack, and we take all our notes with us, and the
You just
life
go,
lessons,
which
the
is our
life
mind.
lessons. Yeah, it's our compass.
Yeah. Which is to finish my story. Um, Yeah, just having experience being disabled. It's like I was walking down the street one day, or I was driving my car one day, and I didn't think anything of it. And then literally, I blink, and then I wake up a year later, and I am completely different. Half my head's shaved. I'm 40 pounds less than I weighed, and I can't walk, and I can't even speak. So it's like how quick God can teach you. Like, and a lot of people, a lot of people don't even experience this, which is fine. You don't have to experience trauma to understand how good life is. And that's what I want to teach is like people don't need to experience war, they don't need to experience violence, they don't need to experience loss to feel good. I think that I experience what I experience to teach people that, to help people understand like every moment. And when I hear people complaining about, it's like, oh, I heard this guy talk about, oh, this paperwork. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I didn't say this in my head. I'm like, there's people like you have function of your hands, like doing anything as a human being, being weird, doing whatever, that's a gift. And you should be grateful, not just you, but I'm saying to like everyone, we should all be grateful to have to do anything. We got to go to jail. We should be grateful for that because we're still alive.
We're functional.
Yeah. And it's like us having like these capacities and these abilities to move our body. It's amazing. So it's like never complain about anything and never feel bad about anything because it's all a teaching lesson. It's all there for us to learn how to feel good. Because why is it that we can't feel good? Why is it that we got to do this paperwork? Why do we have to feel frustrated? We're supposed to feel good, and that's why really being present and enjoying that moment is important. And this is something that I'm working on deeply because it's, my mind is going a million miles a minute, and I'm really bringing myself to slow down and to slow my mind, and not slow my mind that I don't get more downloads from higher power or whatever, but just being present. I went to I met up with some friends last night because I'm doing a show in a couple weeks here in Tucson, and I met up with them at a bar. It's my favorite place I don't go out to drink, but it's like it used to be a mortuary, so it has like this really beautiful style to it, and it's just such a gorgeous place. But I was there and I got there on time, but my friends were late, so I was there by myself for 30 minutes. I didn't have to do any work. I finished my work for the day. I didn't have to be on my phone. I wasn't talking to anyone. I wasn't texting or calling. I didn't have a phone call to be with anyone. And I was sitting there and my mind kept going to somewhere else. And I'm like, why are you leaving this moment? And so I started focusing on how I can move my toes and how good my knees feel and how good my legs feel, and just how grateful I am to be in a safe place to just sit here. And, I don't drink alcohol. So I was there waiting for people in a bar with no drink. And there was, I know some people would be like, oh, I'm embarrassed or something, or that's embarrassing. But no one was paying attention to me, like, and if someone is I don't need to explain myself. Like I'm there. The place that I was at was the place where I'm going to perform at. So the people that work there know me and whatever. It's like, but it's like I lost that moment of how delicious that present moment was. And it's really grounding yourself, focusing on your breath, on your breathing, and coming back to the present moment, because nothing else in the past, nothing else in the future matters, because it's not there. It's always now. So presence is very important.
Wow. That's good stuff. Present time, the now.
This moment.
Awareness of everything.
And another thing I wrote was romanticizing yourself. To me, I love being romantic. I love having romance in my life, but I'm celibate right now, and it can get a little bit difficult sometimes. And it's difficult because I say it is, but there's times where loneliness comes in, and that's okay. It's like we're supposed to be in tribes. We're supposed to be together as humans. We're supposed to be in groups. So, I mean, that's natural. If I'm like spending a lot of time alone, I feel that disconnect, but that connection's still there, and just I don't know. I think just listening to like music helps so much. Music always brings me back to good feelings. And
Yeah.
I forget that sometimes because a lot of times I listen to sad music and I'm like, why am I feeling sad? And it's like, well, I need to change my damn station. But
Everything I think is one. One
yeah.
time I was cutting grass, like it was so many trees and woods around, and like I was cutting grass for the longest time, like, and like I was on a John Deere and like
Yeah.
cutting like high grass and like the trees. It was something about the trees because like it made me feel like everything was one because like there was dragonflies around. Like I
Oh,
wasn't alone. Like it was like dragonflies around me. Like everything is like coexistent. Like even like you feel alone. Like there's things around. Like
yeah.
there's people afar, but like everything is like
There's
in
still
this
existence.
in
Yeah.
the same boat. Everything is in the same boat.
Yeah. And it's like if
We're all a
people could
universe.
only yeah, if people could only see, I mean, they don't have to see. If people could only feel the life that is on this earth, like on a microscopic and cellular level, there is so much going on. There is so much more than we can even comprehend. And people, that's like something that I remind myself is that, you know, there's so much life around me. And
Yeah.
there was a realization I had last night was I had like some feelings muster up of loneliness, and I was like, wait, what is this feeling? And I took some breaths, and I'm just like, I started parenting myself, and I was like, everything's okay. You're safe. Like, you are loved. I love you. And I
Yeah.
thought, what if I never saw another human being? That's fucking lonely.
Yeah.
That would be crazy. Can you imagine never seeing any other human being? That
Yeah,
would suck. And it's
that'd
like
be
you can go
wild.
out, yeah, you can go outside and you can see people.
Yeah.
You go outside and you'll see someone,
You could
depending
open
on
the
where
door, you see people.
yeah, well, depending on where you're at. I mean,
Yeah.
there's life around us. It's
Yeah.
all around us and it's underneath us. It's under our feet. It's on us. It's everywhere. It's in the air. It's just really regaining that and um, just listening to intuition, your intuition, and realizing that's like um, these positive feelings are amazing. And if you think about like a child, children are happy. How often, like percentage wise, in their waking hours, percentage wise, I believe that children are happy 80 to 90% of the time. Why can't we be like that as adults? Because and people say it's toxic positivity. And it's like, oh, you like being negative. You like feeling like shit. Well, good for you.
You
And
gotta
it's
put
not,
yourself
yeah.
you gotta put yourself in to like you gotta practice some type of self-care. Like if you feeling like what was the word again about I know that you gotta like if you feeling like unhappy, like you really gotta do some self-care. Like if it's a
Self-care, breath.
if
Yeah.
it's a time thing, like if you're in rush hour, like you gotta go to work and but you gotta have that peace time. That like I
Mhm.
say, me time is my peace time. My self time is my God time. Like you really gotta have that peace time. I don't work all the time. Like I cut grass sometimes, but like if you do what you love and love what you do, like
Love everything you do because
put heart behind it.
anytime you're alive, but when you get those feelings of uncomfortableness, it's telling you it's like, maybe I can change. Maybe I should be doing something else. But regardless, like Sadhguru
Yeah,
teaches just enjoying every moment.
yeah. Be in the moment,
Yeah,
whatever you're doing.
we're past an hour. I don't know how long you
Yeah,
wanted to go or if you
we
wanted
could.
to add anything else.
It was amazing talking, and it's. I know it's an hour five. I felt like I could have quit 10 hours.
I know this is something that I mean, I can talk about this forever
Yeah.
and I talk about it all the time. This is my
It's good
lifeline.
content. It's good content.
Yeah,
You're hella smart and intelligent and
thank
you're in
you.
tune with the emotional body and um like it was amazing conversation. Like you're naturally a good charismatic speaker. Like I
I am. I
I
know.
commend you on that.
Thank you. That's one of my gifts. I'm very charming and I'm very blessed to have that charm within myself.
I was retaining all the information. I was like, my head is banging.
Well, you're so special. And
Yeah.
without you bothering me, and not you weren't bothering me. Let me say that again. Without you like messaging me and stuff, I felt like I wasn't being as I'm not as responsive on
Yeah,
Instagram with people that I don't really know. So I'm just glad that we finally got to meet, and I
it all
apologize for
worked
not
out.
always getting back to you.
It all
Um,
worked out.
yeah,
That was the
that's great.
universe saying that was the universe saying, "Hey, like this could be something special," and we just
Yeah.
contrast, and it made a good creation of a episode. And
Hmm.
we talked and we shared. It was a lot of downloads,
Yeah.
spiritual downloads,
Yeah. It was great.
and gratitude.
Yes. I commend you for creating this. Thank you so much for encouraging me. And I would like to do this again.
Yeah, it was great. It was really good. I really liked it. It's like I say, talking is therapy, and
Hmm.
it's really a good creation. I don't what is that hormone that's in the brain like when you feel like it's a feel good hormone? Like
Your
that's what I got.
dopamine,
Yeah,
serotonin, and oxytocin.
yeah,
Well,
that's
dopamine and oxytocin are from your brain, but those are good feeling hormones, and serotonin as well. But that plays into your digestion.
yeah, it was
But
a
I
good
mean,
talk.
that's yeah.
I'm gonna rewind and go back to the part where you were saying about like holistic health and exercising, dieting and
Mhm.
stuff. Like that was
Yeah,
good stuff.
holistic lifestyle is so important. It's we're supposed to be in nature as humans. We're supposed to be 80% in nature, and we're not now, which is fine. This is just the structure of our life now. But we're supposed to exercise, and we're supposed to stretch, and we're supposed to eat healthy. And a healthy diet includes protein, fats, and not just like saturated fats, like polysaturated and monosaturated fats, which are from like nuts, walnuts, um, oils like olive oil or coconut oil, and avocados. You get good cholesterol and fats from avocados, and complex carbs, which are things like quinoa, rice, black beans, lentils,
And your greens,
and your greens. Vegetables are so important. Fruits are important, but
fruits.
in my opinion, from my professional perspective and nutritional understanding, vegetables are so much more important than fruits. Fruits are very important, but have way more vegetables than fruits, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah.
My professional opinion.
I need to jump on the fruits and the vegetable train.
Yeah. It I do my best to have a lot of vegetables, but I like naturally I'm very like I'm a petite woman, so I have a lot of fiber, and it's just like you have to listen to your body. That's the other thing. It's like listen to your body and know what your body needs, because
Yeah,
everybody needs a different diet. Everybody can handle a different diet, and that's important to understand and learn.
I know I
And
need some exercise. I
it's
need
good
to
to
be moving. I
exercise.
need some yoga and some tai
Hmm.
chi. I need some type of movement.
Pilates too, or martial arts.
Martial arts. Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be cool. That'd be
it's
cool.
fun. It's fun
I don't
because
want to
like
get kicked.
well, no, when you're doing training, it's in a professional way that you're not really competing. You're
Yeah.
still trying to win the game, but you're trying to strategically win a game against another human body.
Yeah. Jackie Chan will kick me and then I fly back.
You don't do that. Usually people don't do that kind of stuff in
But I
training.
was told that I should get into MMA. Like I have a knee problem. Not it's not a knee problem. I could still run, but I tore my ACL meniscus back in 2007, and I got knee surgery
Hmm.
2014. That was like a long time, a long wait. But I know yoga and tai chi is really good stuff,
Yeah.
and but I can still exercise and do things.
Yeah, it's important to move the body. That's what we're made for, is to move and use our
Yeah,
bodies.
I got to
So, but
move it.
anyways, getting to the end, let's do this another time too. But that was
Yeah.
great. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Please subscribe. You can check out my YouTube channel. It's Jessae, Jessae. My Instagram is Jespecial, Jespeciall. And this podcast Instagram is Becoming a Light Warrior. Do you want to share your information, Paul? Because we did this as like a collab on
Eh,
his podcast as well.
Yeah, you. What's your podcast called again?
Becoming a Light Warrior.
Yeah, and mine. Everyone. I don't think everyone knows, so I'm gonna still plug it because like it's free time, free spill podcast. And you can check me out. I'm on YouTube, Nihanaaravkrishna. And I have a book, MC Nook, The Formula, My Life in Hip Hop. And I talk about my life journey, um, everything that I've been through, the pitfalls and all that you can avoid. Creativity. It will spark creativity in you, being the creative that I am, and the journey that I've taken. Now I'm 33 years old with those Jesus vibes.
That's beautiful. And I'll include Paul's handles in my description.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for listening.
Thank y'all, and peace, love, and light. Thank you so much, Jessica. It was
Thank
it
you.
was beautiful. It was a beautiful time, and I thank you so much for helping me create this and manifesting this episode. Like it was beautiful, and I wish the best in the future. Just setting the intentions and
Mhm.
gratitude for more podcasts, and I send love and light and positive vibes, and I just keep blessing and blessing and blessing on top of blessings. If that
Thank
makes
you.
sense.
Yes, it does.
But yeah,
So much.
thank you.